there are changes coming to Medicare and health insurance in the new year. So here to tell us what you need to look out for is health insurance expert Craig Gussin. Craig, good morning. This is a book you just handed me,
Yep.
Medicare and You in 2025. This is not light reading.
No.
Do people actually read this, or do they come to you
They
and
come
say,
to us and
Craig,
say, help me. Exactly, help me. What do I need to know? We go through the book. We show them all the options. There's some good stuff in there, but most people aren't going to read all that. They're going to get that. They're also going to get something called an annual notice of change. That's pretty much the one. That's the one that basically says, okay, here's your plan today. Here's the changes going on in 2025.
Okay.
And that's the one that everybody looks at. You know, when people don't really understand Medicare that great, but there's Part A that covers you when you're in the hospital, and it's free usually.
Yep.
Part B covers everything pretty much not in the hospital, and you pay $174.70 a month, and it usually comes out of your Social Security check. Part C is a Medicare Advantage plan. That plan has a very limited network of doctors and hospitals you can go to, like Kaiser. You know, you can only go there with Sharp. Then you have a Medicare supplement, so you can go to any doctor in the United States as long as they accept Medicare. So it really gives you options of where you want to go. But the big problem that we're running into is the Inflation Reduction Act. It came out, it's got some great stuff. Insulin, $35 per prescription.
Right.
Started this year. In January, the most you can pay out of pocket for all your prescriptions in the whole year is $2,000. Today it's $8,000. Great deal. However, the insurance companies are now on the hook to pay for everything over $2,000. And by the way, if you call me up and say, I just hit my $2,000 in January, you can go to the insurance company, tell them you want to pay that $2,000 over 12 months, which is $167 a month. You pay that every month. The rest of your prescriptions for the rest of the year are paid for by the insurance company. Now, because of that, prescriptions that normally cost 40 cents to $20 to $25 a month,
they're going to go up.
A lot. Anywhere from just under $18 a month to over $100 a month.
Wow.
I just read an article yesterday on Forbes magazine talking about that when the government started to realize, and everybody in Washington, D.C., how big the rates are going up, they actually are supposedly subsidizing the insurance companies because they don't want rates going up that great. Because what happens in 30 days? We have the elections. And I'm not getting into the politics end of it, but it's
I know it's important to point out that when politicians are out there stumping and they're saying, hey, we've reduced your prescription prices on insulin from, you know, X to Y, it's not the whole story.
It isn't.
So this is when people, I mean, because every, September, fall, people will come to you and say, okay, Medicare is going to be changing again next year. You have to really look at their needs as an individual. So if people 64-year-olds turning 65 or 65 and older, they really should, bottom line, have a health expert like you that can go over the changes based on their individual needs, especially their prescription needs.
Exactly. And, you know, there's agents all over the county. You can go to KHIP, CAHIP, San Diego, click on Find an Agent, put in your zip code, and they'll come up with agents. If you're in El Cajon, Escondido, it doesn't make a difference where you're at. When you have agents that are experts, certified, they can help you do that. One of the things that happened to us is some of the companies are going, well, if someone wants these prescriptions, you can't help them. So pretty much some of the companies are saying we can't even, they're canceling our contract and saying you can't help them, you're going to have them go on their own. So then the consumer says, what do I do now? Because most people say, look, I'm pretty smart, but I don't really understand Medicare. And it's our job to walk them through and explain, here's the changes, what are you trying to accomplish? The same thing everybody does for health insurance.
Right.
It hasn't changed except that with Medicare, things change every year and you want to make sure that you have the best plan for your needs. And also what's going on between Sacramento and Washington, D.C. I got home last night and I was watching the news, and you guys talked about in vitro was going to be covered by health insurance. And the first thing I thought of is, what are rates going to be next year? I don't know when that's going into effect, but it's probably 26 or 27. But that's going to increase health insurance rates a lot. And they don't think about the negative effect of all the nice things they're doing. I get calls every month or two. Hey, what plan covers in vitro? And I go, none of them.
All right. Well,
so, you know, it's
a lot to go through.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, there's a whole book on it.
There
okay,
is.
so CAHIP dash
San Diego.
San Diego,
Yeah.
and you can find yourself a health expert if you don't already have one to go over everything with the changes in
Yep.
Medicare. Craig, as always, thank you so much.
Great to see you guys.
You too.
Take care.
All